Hey Flosstube, it is Michelle McGraw from Made by Michelle McGraw, and this is Flosstube number 18. And it is February 4th, 2020, I think. I think that's right. It's either the 4th or the 5th, and I'm a day early if it's the 5th maybe. I think it's the 4th. Anyhow, I'm here to talk to you about my stitching and what I've been doing. So, I've had a busy week. It's almost going on 2 weeks. So I did different work on different projects. I have 3 new starts, 2 restarts. So technically they're not new, but I'm restarting them. I'll explain that when we get into that. So we also have a giveaway winner, so make sure you watch till the end. And yeah, so I'm going to jump into it. I have some previous finishes that I will share that I don't think I've ever shared on Flosstube before, so I'm going to share those with you now. So this actually gets mounted on, it's on like a metal display board, but it's actually in my son's room. This is one that I did for his birthday, and it's called Little Red's House, and it's by Ink Circles, and I changed the colors. So it's supposed to be more red, but we don't have red squirrels in North Carolina. We have brown squirrels, so I changed the squirrels. I just kind of darkened everything up, if that makes sense. So the leaves are darker. Everything's darker than it was supposed to be called for. I did it on blue fabric. I don't remember what it's called. I want to say this is a 16 count. That's what it looks like to me. Hold on, it might be 18 count. No, it looks like 16 count. So that was given to him on his birthday, which would have been last year, I think. No, this year. So he turned 13, but he's what we always call him my squirrel, because he bounces from one thing to the other. Lots of energy. So I had started this little one for him, and it's been in his room on a little display board, and they cleaned their room and reorganized stuff, and he really didn't have room in it, and I was like, well, let me just put it in my craft room, and it's still yours and you can still have it. But this was actually supposed to be done in a frame because it was going in his room, which is what I would have preferred, but when I cut it, I made a mistake and I cut the fabric too short. So I kind of was limited at that point. So anyhow, notice I have it on airplane mode, and I'm not sure why. It's still allowing stuff to come through, but I haven't looked into that yet. But anyhow, I just did a little simple bow with some ribbon that I had, and I did a covered button with just some matching fabric, and it was a quick finish. I wasn't super happy about it, but like I said, I kind of messed it up. I should have put it in a frame. That's what I wanted to do, but when I cut it wrong, I was like, so we'll punt. So that was his. I've never showed that one before. I think I showed progress on it before, but I don't ever think I showed it finished. So this is an old one. Sorry, the glare. I am sure this is a Stony Creek pattern. I don't know the book. It was Tractors, and I just picked one, and it is stitched. Let me look. I think it's 14 count oatmeal. This is a long time coming. I have something on my frame over here, so I'll just put that's not part of the pattern. That's like a dog licked it or something. Sorry. True story. It could have happened. But anyhow, sorry, trying to get, oh, there we go. So that is one that I stitched. There's a lot of back stitching on it. These are beautiful patterns when they're done. It's just a lot of back stitching. Love them, but a lot of back stitching. So this actually sits on my fireplace. I think this is a frame from Hobby Lobby or IKEA, but I'm pretty sure it's Hobby Lobby because it's actually heavy. So I think this is Hobby Lobby. And I just put it in there myself. I didn't fancy frame it or anything like that, because it fit in a standard frame. So that was the great thing. Okay, so my next one, and I have to show you this carefully. So there's a story behind this one. So this is Have a Nice Poop. And this is a pattern that I got off of Etsy. And it is stuck. This is definitely an IKEA frame. And while I love the frame, this sits in my bathroom. So my husband uses powder, and like it gets all over my bathroom. So it gets in these little grooves here. I don't know if you can see me, like it doesn't look like I'm wiping it out. To me, it looks dusty in there, and I constantly am like dusting this frame. So I need to take it out of this frame and reframe it into a frame that won't collect the powder that he pushes all over the room, or I don't know what he does. Does he bath in it? I don't know. There's powder everywhere in my bathroom. So it gets on this frame. So while it's not the best frame for it, I do love this pattern. I stitched this for all of my girlfriends one year for Christmas. This is on 14 count, and this one is whole stitches, I believe. No, this one is tent stitched. So I tent stitched some of them, and then I whole stitched some of them because I was doing them for gifts, and I did like 5 of these. Let me tell you, I never want to stitch one of these poop emojis again. So this was done several years ago, and it was given as a Christmas gift to my girlfriends, the Jugs gifts. So you've heard me talk about those before. That was one year that we did them. So I need to find a new frame that would be better in my bathroom. I love cross stitching my bathroom, especially like fun stuff like that I'm not overly concerned about. Like if it doesn't pass down to generations, it's okay. My girlfriend has hers up in her bathroom, and it says have a nice poop. And then she has another sign that says stay a while or something like that, which I find hysterical every time I use her bathroom and I go in there and I'm like, so cute. She even told me, she's like, is this not the perfect sign? I'm like, it is the perfect sign. Okay. So this next one, there's a story behind this. So this was actually the very first cross stitch that I completed. So I know that I've showed this on my Instagram, but I've never actually showed it on my Flosstube. And this was done, I started cross stitching when I was 7. My mom gave me a welcome with flowers on it. It was a small welcome, but it had like flowers coming out of it. It was not pretty. It was not something I wanted to stitch, and I never completed it. I worked on it, but didn't complete it. This was a pattern that I picked out, and I thought it was adorable. It was a little bunny. It was so cute, so soft, just looked so cute. And so I wanted to stitch this, and I started stitching this, and I got it, I don't remember, but maybe like 75% completed, maybe 80% completed. And like kids do, you fall out of love with stitching and you kind of let it go. My sister was stitching. My sister is 4.5 years older than me, so she was more mature to stick with things. She grabbed it and she finished it for me and gave it to me as a Christmas gift one year. So those are my initials before I was married that was on there, but I don't have a year. And then no one wrote on the back. It was professionally framed, not by me, but it was. But this is so sweet. So I actually have this in my bathroom, and I have 2 medicine cabinets, my husband's and mine, and I have in between it years ago, my husband bought me this little, I don't know what you call it, but it's a digital calendar with the weather on it. And so it'll tell you like the high and low for the day. And then like it gives you like a little symbol of what's like, if it's going to rain or if it's going to be sunny or if it's going to be cloudy. And when he gave it to me, I was like, it was like a Christmas gift. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I wasn't thrilled with the gift when he gave it to me, but it is my most used Christmas gift that I use. Like my boys will come into my bathroom in the morning to see what the weather's going to be that day. And we use it so much. It also has a clock on it, so it helps keep me on time when I'm getting ready. Because for some reason, I can lose track of time very easily, like squirrel, and just get looking at something or doing something, or I don't know what I do. So like it helps keep me on track. So this hangs right below it. and I get to see it every single day. And I love this because this really re-energized me to get back into cross stitching when I was a kid. I was like, oh my gosh, look, I actually finished something. So my advice to people who are beginner cross stitchers is find a pattern that you really love. With that said, find a pattern that is something that you can finish in a reasonable time. So meaning you could finish it ideally in a week, 2 weeks, a month even. Don't get a big, huge project for your first project because it's so hard to finish that and you lose that motivation because you don't see that end result. And this was not unreasonable for me to do. I mean, it's really not that much stitching, but when you're a little kid, that's a lot of stitching. And I don't remember exactly how old I was when I did that one, but I was a lot younger. And then my sister dug it out and finished it. I want to say in my teens, she gave it to me. I think. I don't remember exactly, but that kind of like re-energized me because it was like, wow, look what I did. You know, look what I accomplished and I finished something. So if you're starting out, pick a pattern that's not huge, but pick a pattern that you love, that you want to stitch, because the very first one I didn't want to stitch. So yeah. Okay. Now we can get into some whips. I will show you some whips and then I can show you some haul. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is every time I wear a silicone ring, I get a lot of comments on where do I get my silicone rings. So I generally wear a diamond anniversary band. 95% of the time I wear a diamond anniversary band. This summer, somehow I got irritation underneath my ring. It's a low set ring, so I don't have to worry about bumping it. I don't tend to wear my diamond very often. My diamond is very bulky and big, and it's a twin set, and it's platinum, and it's very heavy, and my hands fluctuate in temperature a lot. So in the wintertime, I really can't wear my diamonds because they tend to like fall off my hand because my hands get cold. So in the summertime, I can wear my diamond, but I generally wear my anniversary band just every day because it's more feasible when I'm working and stuff like that. So this summer I got irritation under it. I took the band off and was trying to let it heal. And I did that a couple times. Like I would leave it off overnight and it never was healing. And one day I was like looking at my hand and I kind of like was messing with it. And like, it was, I don't like kind of red and a little pussy. And I was like, oh, that's not good. So I cleaned it all up. I actually agitated it at that point. So I cleaned it all up, put medicine on it. And I was like, I need to leave this off and let this heal altogether. I don't know if something had gotten underneath my ring and like it just never healed or what. I don't know. So I went to wearing the silicone bands this summer because as my hands fluctuated in temperature, it didn't matter. And it didn't bother my hand at all. And my finger totally healed up. So the other day, I've been wearing my band back again. The other day, I got a cut somewhere near my band and it was agitating it. And I was like, rather than my hand break out again, I'm gonna go ahead and wear my silicone ring. So these are just cheap little silicone rings. I think they're like $25 or something. I've gotten them online. I have a couple different ones. I have like a pink camo. I have this black marbly one. I have a couple of them, but they're really handy. Like if you live in the South and it gets really hot and humid and things swell in the summertime, the silicone ring helps. But it is not my go-to. Like I do wear my band 95% of the time. But this is, when you see these on, this is because either my hand's swelling or I have gotten something underneath my ring and my finger's agitated. And that doesn't happen with the silicone. So I don't know. But anyhow, I get tons of questions every time. So there you go. All right. I can show you the little bit of new haul that I got. That seems to be an easy one because it's right here. Let me divide this up because I just printed this off today. So the primitive hair she's on Etsy and she came back into stock. I think over Christmas or something, she might have kind of like not stocked anything in her store. So she had some fairy tale patterns that I've had in my wish list that have not been available. And as soon as she came back, I was like, oh, I need to grab these because I've been wanting them. So here is Rapunzel. This is Sleeping Beauty. I just want to separate these so I don't show the pattern and just the picture. So here's Sleeping Beauty. And it's really hard to see the detail in that, but she's laying on the bed. Snow White, and I love the colors in here. I love that they're not your typical like Snow White colors that you would think, but I love that. So this one definitely is going to be done. This one will definitely be done, which is Red Riding Hood. And these aren't too big, but they're like, let me see. This one is 160 by 214. So they're a good size, but there's a lot of empty space in there. So that's Red Riding Hood. Love that one. That one is gorgeous. I love the woof. I just love kind of the whimsical look of it. Love that. Then you have Beauty and the Beast. Love that one. That one will be done as well. And I love that she doesn't put faces on them, because faces are hard, because faces are hit or miss. No one wants to buy a pattern with Children of the Corn faces. I'm just saying. Okay, so if you're a designer, be careful. Look at those faces. This one is not in the same spirit, so I'll show you that at the end. This is Cinderella. So once again, I will probably do Beauty and the Beast, Cinderella, Snow White, and Red Riding Hood. They are so pretty. I love those. And then the last one I just liked, it's called Honey, and it says home is where your honey is. And I just like that. I thought that was a sweet little sentiment that you could use either in the summertime, or you could even use it for Valentine's Day. Like you could change your dress to red and that would be adorable. Or leave it like it is. Cute too. Okay, so those were my kind of new haul. I have some old haul that I thought would be fun to share. Sambury Stitches has showed some of her stash. And she broke it down into seasons because we all have stash. So I have a big filing cabinet of patterns. Do I admit to that? So at Christmas for years, my sister has always gotten me a big box of cross-stitching patterns. Like literally like I don't even want to say a shirt box. I would say like a jacket box, like a bigger box. And she has loaded it with cross-stitch patterns that she's bought over the years. And she has done that for me for years. My mom has gotten, some of these are my mom's patterns. Some of these might be some of my sister's patterns, but most likely not. Because I think those would be patterns that she bought me. I mean, I've been collecting patterns since probably my early 20s, maybe my early teens. And so I have quite a stash. So I'm going to show you later on, I pulled out my Easter patterns, what I consider Easter patterns. These are not ones that I have kitted up. So I do have other Easter patterns, but the ones that I have kitted up are in my whip parade. So if you want to see that, they would be in my whip parade. And I have 4 videos right around Christmas time of last year. Those are in the whip parade. These are patterns that are not kitted. They're not on my quote to-do list right away. But they're part of my stash. So I thought I would share them with you, and maybe you'll see some old patterns. I don't really know what's in here. I just grabbed out Easter because I figured that was the next holiday that people would be stitching for. So maybe that would be fun to see. Okay, so I'm going to get into my whips because we are 20 minutes in and I haven't showed whips yet. So we're going to do that. Okay, I'm going to start with the one that I was working on last. And okay, so this is one of my older whips. And I'm going to show it, and then I'm going to show my restart, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, so this was Mickey and Minnie Photography. And this is by Nettie Design off of Etsy. So this is quite an old pattern. I'm not sure if it's still available on Etsy. If you were interested in it, you could definitely contact her. I say her, it might be a him, I don't know. But I loved this because I loved like the different vignettes basically. And I was going to do 4 of them and put them on my cross stitch board as just something fun. So here is my start, okay? So as you can see, I have a good start on this. Well, the problem is this pattern is an older pattern, and the pattern goes across 4 different pages for this one, okay? So each of the pictures are multiple pages. When I made a copy of it, I made a copy and I cut it all up and I pieced it together, and my copy is off somewhat, which is meaning my 4 pages don't line up evenly on this design. The other ones are fine. This one I found, I'm like, what was I thinking? So that kind of annoyed me. The other thing that annoyed me about this was I used 3 strands on 14 count. I don't use 3 strands anymore, and it looks very crowded to me now. So I'm not loving it. And I hemmed and hawed, and I just wasn't loving it. So I put it down, and then it dawned on me, I should restart this, and I should stitch it without the side pieces. Okay, so that would save me a bunch of stitching for one, because it's a full coverage piece. Each part of it is full coverage. So it's actually a lot of stitching for a little bit of space. So then I thought about just doing the face of each character. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do like the white in here, or like there would be white that you have to stitch in here, around here, or just simply do the outline of the character and then fill in the character, which is what I think I'm going to do. But I just wasn't happy with this. And I thought, I don't want to spend another 25 hours doing these, or how much ever like it's going to take, because I want to do 4 of them and not love it. So I stopped and put it down, and then I decided I was going to restart it. So here is my restart. Let me get a piece of paper. So the problem with my restart is I'm doing it on yellow fabric because I had yellow fabric, and quite frankly, I'm not sure when I will ever use yellow fabric. This seemed to be a good one to use yellow fabric on because yellow is kind of a Disney color, even though it's not primary yellow. It just kind of seemed like it would be a good color to use. So here's my question. Maybe you guys can answer me this. This is called, and this was from my stash. So it is officially called, where's my little ticket? Okay, it is officially called 18 count Yellow Cove Linen. Okay, so I'm confused. So I don't work on linen very often. I'm not a huge fan of the irregularity in linen. It kind of drives me batty. But like I said, this came from my stash. I need to use it up. This seemed like the perfect project. And I'm looking at the fabric, and it's not like, I can see it, like it's definitely linen because it's irregular, and I can see that the fibers are irregular, but I always thought that linen was 28, 32, 36, 40, whatever count. I didn't think that linen came in 18 count. I thought when you talked about 18 count, it always had to be an Aida material. So I'm confused. Can linen be 18 count? And how does that work? I don't know. Linen is not my jam. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I prefer an even weave, or I prefer Aida. That's just, and I think I go by what color I have in my stash. honestly. I go by, what color do I have to use? I have a lot of stash of material. And then I also buy a lot of material. Bestitch Me has had so many cute cute fabrics lately that I am loving them. So yeah, I don't need any more fabric, but I'm tempted and I've bought some. Just saying. Anyhow, so as you can see, this is my restart. Sorry about the see-through there. And I'm going to stitch just the person right now, and then I'm going to see if I need to add in a little bit of the background of white. I'm hoping that I can do just the person and kind of have this as like a fun little stitch. Even though I'm restarting it, it's not a restart for me because I did start it before. Well, it's a restart, but it's not a new start, I guess I should say. I'm not phrasing that well. English words, I have to put them together. It's a whole big thing. Okay, so that's that one. I am going to just grab some bags because I know that I have different ones in here. I know some of them that I have worked on. Let me find my pattern. That is my working copy, which does not help you because I don't take a picture of the outside generally on my working copy unless I know that I'm not going to have the pattern with me for whatever reason and I need the picture. Yeah. These are all my Prairie Schooler ornaments that I have stuck in this bag, and I have all of the floss that I need to do them. Okay, so it is very elusive. Okay, I'm not going to go through it again. I'm done. Let me see. Maybe it's behind the pattern. Oh, big red truck. It would have, the snake, it had bit me. There you go. So this is my Prairie Schooler. This is 2016. Santa and the Deer. As you can see, I have a bunch of Prairie Schoolers on these little cards I want to do. I actually have working copies for all of them. So they are all working copies, and I keep all the threads in this bag, and literally this bag does not go away because when I finish one, I start another one. So this is my progress on Prairie Schooler. I worked a little bit more on the deer, and I think that's it. So while not a huge amount of progress, all stitches count, right? So I jumped to that for a little bit. Okay, this is my to-go bag, and I worked on, this is my Lizzie K Eek Boo Hiss, and I have already done, let me look here, I have already done Hiss, and I'm working on Boo. So this is, once again, let me get something behind it. So that's my progress, not a huge amount, but I'm working down. And this is the pattern. Eek Boo Hiss by Lizzie Kate. This is a bad picture. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. The final product looks amazing on the dart. It really pops. This I am doing for the Ornament Sal 2020, hashtag Ornament Sal 2020. This will be a Halloween ornament, and I'm skipping back and forth between a holiday or a Christmas to a Halloween. This is into my to-go bag, so this does get worked on at least every Friday. On Fridays, I work all day long in my office, and I work the window. I go in the morning and I do the weekly billing. And then after I get that done, I've kind of done all of my stuff all week long so that I have hopefully nothing to do that afternoon except wait on customers and answer the phone. And I'm able to set up my cross stitching and work it in between customers. So generally my to-go bag always gets work on it on Fridays. Sometimes it gets more than that, but it at least gets worked on Fridays. And I'm trying to make sure that I do an ornament. They're small, so they don't get dirty in my office. There's something that I can put to the side very easily. It's not a lot of stuff on my desk, and it fits in the bag really great. So that's kind of why I do that. Okay. Let's see here. I have been trying to plug through with Visit Mordor, which is an older whip. This is from Country Magic Stitch. Visit Mordor. And I've been working on this one for a while. I don't know why my motivation kind of lacks on this one. I'm not really sure. As you can see, I have page 1 done over here, and I'm on page 2. But I did the rest of the dark brown fill-in. I've done a little bit more on the fire, and I've started the top part in here on fill-in on the purple sky. So I really want to get this one done. And I could get it done if I just stitched on that during the week. I get bored, so I like to move around, but I've left this one out. I really want to start a Gone with the Wind one from Country Magic Stitch, and I promised myself I would not start it until I finished one. I have a hair in my mouth. Sorry, random. Squirrel. I don't want to start another one from her because they are full coverage pieces. I tent stitch them on 14 count. I talked about that before. I don't want to start another one until I finish that one or finish Visit Endor. And I am further along on that one than I am on Visit Endor. So that one's my goal to get done. So I've definitely worked on it like twice this week, 2 different days. So I made progress. And so maybe if I just work on it 2 days a week, then I can see some more progress get done. Okay, so the next one is actually a restart. So I got this lovely pattern from my friend Lovely Stitches, and I had commented on Instagram how much I love the pattern, and she sent it to me, which is De Quaker. Okay, so I love this pattern. I started this on my fabric, and I started it with silk. I love stitching with the silk. It was a variegated silk, and I loved it, but I'm not sure I was loving it stitching it up. I think the silk was pretty, but I kept thinking, like, where am I going to put this in my house? And then I got an idea. I really want to do it in black. I wanted it to be slightly smaller. So I went down in a stitch count, and I want to weave in some 115, DMC 115, which is a variegated dark red. So that's my idea. This is my restart with it, which is not as far along as I was. I think I put it on the shelf. So I don't have my original one, but I had a lot of the motif, not a lot. I had a lot of progress, more progress than this. I am much happier with this because this will match my Long Dog sampler one that I'm doing of Templar Prophecy. So I like the black. I'm using Picture This Plus Murky fabric, which I need to stop telling y'all that this is the best fabric ever, because 123 Stitch has like hardly any of it in stock. So I don't know which one of y'all is hearing me say that Picture This Plus Murky is the most fabulous fabric ever, because y'all are buying it. And I need y'all to stop buying it because I need to buy it. Okay, this is, let me look. Hold on, I gotta take my glasses off. This is 18 count. Picture This Plus. I'm pretty sure it's 18 count. I'm much happier. It's gonna be a little smaller, and I'm going to work in the red here and there. But it's gonna be mostly black. I think I'm gonna be much happier with this. And as soon as I decided on that, I was like, yes, that's what I need to do. Like, I'm liking that plan. I'm liking that it will match my Templar Prophecy. And once I had that plan in mind, I was like, I'm definitely happy with that. So it was the right thing to stop and restart it and start it in something that I'm going to love. Okay, so this was a new start, and this is a stitch along with Stitching in the Bluegrass or Spunky Jen on Instagram. And this is Stitch a Whale Sow. So you could definitely stitch another pattern with a whale on it if you want, or you could stitch By the Bay Needle Art New England Whale Waters. It is so pretty. Jen showed this and I said I'm obsessed. I love By the Bay Needle Art. My sister has done multiple patterns by them. Their coloring is just fantastic, and you really can't tell by the picture, but when you stitch it up, their uses of greens are just amazing. Okay, so this is my start. Oh, wait a minute. That's awful. That light back there is throwing me off. My husband put a bigger bulb in it, I think. And so that's my start. So I've got the side done, a little bit of the clouds on top, and I'm working on the whale and a little bit on his spout. I am changing the colors. And let me tell you the fabric, because I certainly don't remember what fabric I did. Okay, it is 32 count Basalt Splash with white dots on Laguna. I love this fabric. Actually, Jen helped me pick this fabric. It was 2 choices and this one won. I actually really, really love it. So I need to just keep that up there. I am changing the colors. I changed the color of blue because it needed to be darker on my fabric. Actually, it needed to be darker, but I also didn't have the called for fancy floss, and I was just gonna use from stash. So I've changed the blue. I think that's pretty much it right now. It's just the blue water that's a different color. And it's just, I'm stitching from stash. So, well, on this one. And that's just what works for me. I think I didn't change anything else, I don't think. But it's super cute pattern. So I can't wait to get back to that, stitching that, because it's so much fun. Put my pattern in there before I lose it. So Jen had a great idea. So these are bags from So Much to Love. And I don't mind if a bag is not vinyl fronted, that's okay. I like vinyl fronted bags, I like non-vinyl fronted bags, doesn't matter to me, as long as I can fit my project in there. But here's the problem. I have to remember what's in this bag. So I was watching Stitching in the Bluegrasses Flosstube today. If you haven't watched her, go check her out. She's super sweet and she always stitches the cutest stuff. She had labels on her project bags of what was in them. Why didn't I think of that? Like, that's fabulous. And I could just put it on there and then I would know what is in the bag. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Fabulous idea. So guess what's on my agenda to do is to cut some tags on my, because I have all kinds of scrapbooking stuff. So cut some tags and make some labels so I will know. Okay, this is, I've also worked on Farm Life, and let me, this is 14 count, 14 count Picture This Plus Murky. Let me put some paper behind it so you can see. I did a hoop move and I showed this without the hoop the other day on Instagram. So I have done down the front side. So I have changed pretty much all the colors. I have gone deeper and brighter. I love this. I think it's adorable as a pattern. You can feel like you're accomplishing a lot when you're stitching, like, I want to get the corn done today. So that's my goal. I'm going to get the corn done. I'm going to get this motif down here done. And I just love it. I have changed the colors. I'm literally picking from stash and I'm just darkening them. This is from Little House Needleworks Farm Life. This is a Sal with Stitching in the Bluegrass and Kayla Cola, and she is on Instagram and YouTube as well. And I think both of them are finished with this, but they definitely follow the hashtag and chime in, and other people are working on it too. So it is a fabulous pattern. It actually looks huge. I mean, there is a lot of stitching on here, but because you can do it, like break it up into motifs, it doesn't feel like it's a lot of stitching. Does that make sense? Like, I want to get the barn done. Yes, that's a lot of stitching in the barn, but I get the barn done and I put it away. Does that make sense? And so to me, it doesn't feel like a lot of stitching because it feels like I'm accomplishing stuff. I don't know. That may be all in my head. I have no idea. I do know I'm loosely basing my colors on the Be Merry kit from Fat Quarter Shop. And this is Priscilla, I think, yeah, the Real Housewives little favorite floss. And a lot of my colors have come from this pack. I've used some other colors, but most of them come from that pack. And I'm kind of just going along with it. I had to change the word color because I thought that the colors of the words blended in too much to my fabric. So I did change that just for something that I had. Okay, I'm looking for some other patterns that I've been working on. Let me go back to my page that has all my works in it. That I haven't worked on. I don't think I've worked on this. Nope. Ugh. I think I've worked on this one. Yes, this is a New Start. So I showed this as one of my stash ones. Let me go to my page. So, whoops, I almost threw that on the floor. Lordy be. Glad one of the animals isn't sitting under me. As you can see, one is passed out right there. That's Levi. I had to take him to the vet this weekend. He was whining and seemed to be in pain in his back end. And they think maybe he pulled a muscle or sprained a muscle. And he's on anti-inflammatory and he's doing much better. Like after, we took him down there and he didn't squeal the whole time down there. Although he was like whining and really crying at home. So they were able to give him medicine and he's doing much better. He's doing what he loves to do, which is sleep. That's what he does. Okay, so this is Shenandoah from Carriage House Samplings. And I love this one. I love that it talks, that it has the horse and it says cross the wide Missouri. Because I used to live in Missouri for just a little bit when I was younger. And so I think that that's cool. Like, I like to stitch things that mean something to me, so that kind of got me. Let me take my needle minder off because it's a little distracting. I will show the needle minder. It's super cute. It's off of Etsy. Super cute, but it distracts from the whole pattern. So this is my start on Shenandoah. And there's a lot of stitches in there. So this fabric is 18 count granite from Bestitch Me. I don't know that it's showing up. I have zero light right now. So it is a gray, but it also has what I almost consider a green mixed in. I don't know. It's really hard to capture, but it kind of has green undertones. I am definitely not somebody that does well with color. So it's what looks like in my eye. It has some green mixed in. I don't know. I just think it's beautiful. And so that is my start. I am loving this. I love the 18 count and I love Bestitch Me's. I just lost the metal part to my needle minder. Hold on. Okay, I don't want one of the dogs to get it because it's magnetized. And not that I think that they would just come over here and eat a piece of metal because, like, what dog does that? But I say that and I picked it up. So clearly I want to be a good puppy mommy and not have my dogs eat metal. Okay, moving on. All right. I always feel like I'm going to have a short video and then it's not. All right, so what else am I looking at? I'm looking for 2 more patterns. Okay, this is one of them. I worked a little bit on Rust in Peace from Twin Peak Primitives. English words, very hard for me. And I filled in more of the truck, and then I started on the tombstone. So that's always one that I pull out when I don't know which one I really want to like sink my teeth into and just put a little stitches in it. And it always, I don't know, brings me joy. I like that one. Okay, this is my final one that I worked on this week, or 2 weeks almost, I guess. Okay, so this is Anne Roberts' 1842. So, from Hands Across the Sea. I have never stitched a sampler before. In all the years that I've cross-stitched, I've never stitched a sampler. I don't want to say that I don't like samplers because my tastes have changed. And when I first started cross-stitching, samplers were not my thing. I didn't stitch them, didn't even look at them. Now, I think as I get older, I like the history of samplers. So I have talked about this before, that Hands Across the Sea, they have this whole write-up, and it is like 6 pages in here of the story, and it tells all about Anne Roberts and where she was born. So here's the cool thing for me. Anne Roberts was born in a town in Wales, which is where my family is from. So I did not trace my family. I have an uncle, I think there was 2 uncles that kind of did like a genealogy study, and there's actually Roberts still in Wales. My maiden name is Roberts. Anne Roberts. Are we related? I don't know. I need to get with them and find out where in Wales we are actually from. Probably down the line we are, because, that probably is what it is. I just really liked the story behind this, and I love all the little motifs and the scene and the fact that it depicts her village that she grew up with, which is what the story says. I loved that. So I changed the colors a little bit. I am doing this on, let me make sure, because I want to say it's one material and I think it might be another. I am doing this on 14 count Tyco from Picture This Plus, which is one of my favorite fabrics if I need a really light neutral. So here it is. Here's my start. As you can see, I changed this color up here to the navy instead of this, I think it's 935 or 936. I actually really like the blue and the red together, or I like this matched up together, but I liked the navy and the red because she lives in a town that's near the sea, and to me that was nautical, is navy and red. So that's why I changed it. So as you can, I don't know if you can tell it. Yeah, you can see. They use a little bit of the navy and red in 2 corners, this corner and this corner. I'm going to use the navy and red all the way around just because I like it more. Although I was very shocked once I put this color in how pretty it was with the red, but I couldn't see it before that, if that makes sense. But I still like my change. I also changed, this color was supposed to be a brown that was very similar to the edging, and it blended too much in my opinion, but I also think I used one shade different from what they called for because I didn't have that shade, and I thought that the 2 colors then blended even more. So I changed this to another color that's in the sampler. I'm still using called for colors. I'm using them in different areas. So my idea is with the ship, it has a lot of this blue on here, and I'm going to change some of like the posts and stuff to a brown. So it stands out more because like it's hard to tell that that's a ship. I mean, you can see it more in person, but I'm going to change that a little bit. So still using the palette line, and the only true color changes that I've done is like maybe I didn't have a color and I used like a shade lighter or a shade darker than what was called for. It's still on the same palette, so I wouldn't say that I changed it up. So I'm just changing where the colors are, if that makes sense. Okay, so I want to do the giveaway, and I went on before and I got the giveaway winner. It is Amanda Mitchell. So Amanda, you won the pattern from Erica D. House, which is the a choice of the Valentine's Day patterns. So you can choose which one you'd like. I think you wanted the X and O's, or your comment said you'd like to stitch the X and O's one. But send me an email. My email is madebymichellemcgraw@gmail.com. Send me an email with your information, and I will send that pattern out to you. And if you still, which pattern you want. Do you want the Valentine pigs, or do you want the X and O's? Either one, those are your choice, and I can send that on its way. So this week's giveaway, in keeping with our Ornament Sal 2020, I wanted to give away another pattern that could be used for it. And this is Sharing the Christmas Story, Christmas Memories Silhouette. This pattern is 59 by 57. So it is not a big pattern, totally doable. I've done these, they're really cute. You don't have to do it in red, you can do it in any color that you want. But this is for the giveaway this week. This is from Hand Blessings. This one does include the little charm. I stitched all of mine without the charm. This is, I'm pretty sure I stitched this one years ago. I'm not 100% sure, but I always make copies. So this is a clean copy chart. I don't stitch off of my charts. I make a working copy. So this is the original chart, and it's with the thing. But I wanted to pass the stash, so that's what I'm using as my giveaway this week, a pass the stash. But you can use this for the Ornament Sal 2020 and stitch a cute little ornament up. I think this would be precious to stitch for a grandchild. I love this one. So cute. So that was that. Okay, so I wanted to let you know, and Amanda Mitchell, I want to let you know that you're the winner. Contact me. Okay. So now I'm going to do the show my stash. I don't know. I told Sambury Stitches that she needed to come up with a hashtag because this would be something that I could do. I think it would be fun kind of to show the stash of different categories. So I am going to go through my Easter category. And as I said before, these are ones that are not kitted up. These are ones that are just in my stash. And I might kit up some of these. I might just keep them in my stash for a while. So the first one is Abby Rose Designs, Bunnies and Tulips. Love that one. Although I need to change the bunny's blue eyes. The bunny's eyes kind of freak me out because they're blue. Although it matches everything, I think I would just change them to brown. Easy fix. Okay, this is a Needle and Thread Springtime. This is hard because this is actually a picture. So it's a little motif. Totally cute. This is Angel Stitching, Here Bunny 2. This would make a really cute pillow to put in my little dough bowl. I just haven't done that. This year, I'm not focusing on Easter. I'm probably going to do ornaments just like I did this year throughout the year and do an ornament sale again next year. And I might focus on a different holiday. So I might do Easter and Valentine's or something like that and mix it up. So this is Val Stuff. It's a spring thing. So cute. This is an older pattern too. Okay, this is a really old pattern. This is called the Bunny Collection. I'm not sure that it has another name. Yeah, I don't know that it has another name. Let me take the front page out because I have it in a page protector that kind of... So it's all different kinds of bunnies, which I thought would be cute, stitched separately and put on my cross stitch boards. It's never happened. Not yet anyhow. But it's cute. But that's definitely an older style pattern where you can see a lot of back stitching and stuff. But it's cute. Okay. This is... Okay, I'm sitting here trying to figure out the name of the company. Haberdashery Designs. Now you're going to see why. See the lettering up there? That is very hard for me to read. I had to read it off the back. But this is what? And the little, it says, my bum hurts, and then the other bunny says what? So I think that that is super cute. I haven't stitched it, but I think it's super cute. Okay, this is Artsy, or Artsy, I think is how you say it, Easter motifs. This one is, I don't even know. I guess this was a publication. It says Craftways publication, Easter eggs. And it has all different kinds of Easter eggs. And I wish I could show you. I can, hold on, I can show you some. So these are all different kinds of Easter eggs. I'll show it back like this. Trying to see a date on here. I don't know. It says 1990, so I don't know. I will just try to show you some of them. Oops, wait a minute. So there's a paisley egg. How cute is that? I really don't know that you could get this. I don't even know where I got this from at this point. Really don't know. Trying to just show you some really cute ones. Oh, here's an Easter egg made into a car. Maybe if I fold them like this. Isn't that cute? And then there's one that's just a geometric. Yeah, this was in the 1990s because this one says Easter 1990. Totally cute little bunnies, the little bunny butt ones. How cute is that? So some cute ones. I've never done them, but they're in my stash. Okay, this is Rabbit Rascals. I don't know where this came from. I think it's out of a magazine. Yes, it's pages out of a magazine. So I'm not sure which magazine it was in, but there's all the little bunnies and little pots. So cute. But I probably just took that. Oh, it's a Leisure Art magazine. Did Leisure Art make a magazine? Maybe this is a chart. I don't know. I don't know. It feels like a magazine page. Oh, it has numbers on it. So I think it was out of a magazine. Okay, this is Farm Fresh. This is my working copy. I actually have kitted this one up before, so I don't know where my original one is, but this is my working copy because it's actually a copy. And this is Prairie Schooler. It's probably in my Prairie Schooler patterns, and this just didn't get put back with the regular pattern. I kitted this up before, and then I never started it, and I stuck it back in the Easter. I should have stuck it with my Prairie Schoolers. And that's weird because I made a copy of the front of the chart. I normally don't do that. That's old. That's probably because I was like, oh, I need a working copy. I need to make a copy of every single page. And now I'm like, no, I need the chart. Okay, these were also out of a magazine, Cross Stitch Gold. And they're little Easter motifs that I saved. I often don't save the whole magazine. I would just save the pages that I like. Okay, this is a calendar from September 14th to December 2015. I'm sorry, September 2014 to December 2015. And this is just bunnies doing stuff. So I stuck it in my Easter. I've never stitched anything. It was actually from the World of Cross Stitching, and it had like a pattern on every month. So that was kind of the thing. And I think the patterns are in the back. I probably should look at, yeah, there's a pattern, but I don't see all of the patterns in here. Should probably look at that because it might not be worth me saving all this. I don't know. I just see one pattern, so apparently it only came with one pattern. It's totally weird. Okay, all right, I don't know. Easter egg hunt from the Victoria Sampler. So I've never done a Victorian sampler yet, but I have a lot of theirs. My idea was that I was going to take it and like do it like this motif, this motif, this motif, this motif, and then put it on my cross stitch board. So I actually wasn't going to stitch it as a sampler. Handmade Blessing Spring Silhouette Bunny Meets a Butterfly. That is a quick stitch. That'll stitch up really fast. So maybe when I do Easter ornaments, I'll do that one. This is Trilogy Domes of Easter Bunnies Hopping is what it's called. So cute. This is an old one, Easter Parade by Sue Hillis Designs. Bunnies doing things. This is Spring Silhouette Bunny Love from Hand Blessings. And I don't know that I would stitch them in these colors. I would stitch them maybe in something different. This is Spring Silhouette Bunny and Flowers. So you see how I have a whole theme of these that I could do for my cross stitch boards. This is Holiday Hoopla Easter from With Thy Needle and Thread. Sorry, I'm not getting a good picture of that. This is Bent Creek Hippity Hoppity Easter is on its way. Easter row. I actually need to stitch this. I have a spot in my house that I would love to have like long strips of like little motifs like this. That's a free pattern from somewhere. I have no idea, so I won't show it. Spring Fling from With Thy Needle and Thread, which is the big rabbit. This is Cottontail and Cottontail Delivery from Sugar Stitches. This is Cottontail Cupcakes from Sugar Stitches. So I have a whole theme. These would be for my cross stitch boards. And these, I don't see a stitch count. Looks like these are 90 by 90. So not huge. This is Cottontail Carrot Patch. This is Tiny Modernists. Let's go on an egg hunt. And I actually really like this one. I think that's so cute and it's bright and cheery and it has a house. I'm a sucker for a house. I don't know why, but I love a house. Okay, this is Bent Creek Photo Booth Easter Surprise. And this one actually has a piece of linen in it. I don't know what count it is. It's very small, probably not going to be used by me. Okay, this is from Tra La La, and I'm not even going to begin to say the name because I can't pronounce it. Just a nice spring girl and guy. This is the Primitive Hair Spring Celebration. I think this was a free pattern. I'm not 100% sure. This is True Friends by Imagining. Really cute. This is a bigger one, I think, that I thought it was when I ordered it. Yeah, it's 125 by 125, which isn't awful, but it's bigger than I thought it was. This is Barbara Anna Designs Hoppity Easter. And I am obsessed with pretty much anything that she has. So she has a chart out, and I'm trying to think who told me about it. Kelly? Is it Kellyanne? She's on Flosstube. She told me about it. It's Miss T and Miss Scissors. And you have to order it through a Russian site. And I was like, I went on the Russian site and I'm like, okay, I don't see any English. I don't know what any of this says. And then I happened to read a note at the bottom on Barbara Ann's Instagram that says, instant message them on Instagram if you're interested in the patterns. I did. They are so easy to work with. She's like, fantastic. Miss T is not ready yet. If you order both patterns, you get another free pattern. I think it's like a little sewing tomato. And she said that the other pattern wasn't ready just yet. It was going to be ready in a couple weeks and she could ship both of them out to me. I think it was like $13 to ship to the United States. It's the only way you can get those patterns. I loved them. She says I'm on the list. She's going to send me a PayPal invoice when they're ready. It was all in English. So if you're interested in those patterns, don't freak out. They are easy. Contact them through, and I want to say it's like Nikki. No, I don't remember what the Russian site is. But if you go to Barbara Anna's Designs Instagram and you click on her photo, she tells you that it's only available through this shop. Instant message them on Instagram. So you don't have to go to their website and order it and read Russian because I don't. So, all right, this is from Tralala as well. I don't know the name of it because it's something funky, but it's a little bunny guy and he's so cute. But I'm not going to pronounce it because I can't. This is Jardin Privé, or I've heard it pronounced many ways. That's what I'm saying because it is Carrot Market. So cute. And I have Carrots and Cottontails Farm. This is from Hands On Design. So cute. Once again, love those. I have not stitched one of these yet. I really need to, but I haven't. I have one kitted up that I want to start. This is Cricket Collection, the Crossed-Eyed Cricket. This is just Easter. So once again, it's a little sign that says Easter. And I need to do some of these. This is one that is Chalkboard Easter Greetings from Tiny Modernist. Last but not least, so pretty. I love them done on black. I do have some Prairie Schooler ones and I do have some Frosted Pumpkin ones. I do not store those with my other patterns. Those are stored separately with Prairie Schooler and Frosted Pumpkin. Like they're in their own category and I keep them all together. So as I'm showing the stash, that needs to be the hashtag, show the stash. One day I will show that category. So there are some more Easter ones, but they are in with their designer, not in categories. I don't do that very often. I keep Mirabilia's together, and with that is Joan Elliott's. Any it's not Design Works, but any of the dimension kits that are fairies, I keep those together. And I think, oh, Lizzie Kate's. I keep Lizzie Kate's together. So I also have Lizzie Kate Easter ones that are not in this folder. So once again, when I go to stitch categories of Easter ornaments, I have a lot to choose from. So I'm set to go. I really need to stitch from my stash. That's a great idea. And I love seeing people that are doing it. Erin is doing that. I think she's not Erin on Instagram. She's something projects, perpetual projects, something like that. But she's Erin on Instagram. And she's been stitching from stash. And I love to see, like, she'll take a project and she's using floss from stash and she's changing it because it's what she has. Or better yet, she had these little Valentine's hearts that she did. And she's like, I had skeins of floss that were unlabeled and I didn't know what color they were. I used them here. What a great idea. That sounds great. I know me, and I know like market is going to come out and I'm going to buy some stuff. Hopefully I don't buy tons and tons and tons, but I know that I'm going to buy stuff. So I couldn't do like totally stitching from stash. Do I have enough to do stitching from stash? Absolutely. but it might take the fun away from me too. Because some of it is just like looking at new patterns. And I love looking at new patterns and seeing what's out there. Not that I buy all of them, but I love looking and seeing what new people are coming out with, or, you know, what's coming out, I guess. So I have some great patterns, and going through them also tells me like, I need to stitch each Easter next year for my ornaments. You know, maybe I do Christmas and Easter, maybe I do Halloween and Easter, I don't know. But I have tons of stuff. So if you want to join in on your Flosstube and show some of your stash, do so. I'm going to get on Sambry Stitches and tell her she needs a really catchy hashtag so we can all hashtag it and show our stash. So as you can see, okay, so all 3 dogs are there. Okay, so one's licking their butt. Thanks for that. I think 2 of them are licking their butts. So there's one right there. That's Otis, the black and white one. There's another one behind him. That is Leo. And then there's Levi. And you saw my cat walk through. So it is 6:30 and they are looking for dinner. So I will close this out because I'm going to end it. Thank you all for commenting, liking, and subscribing. I passed 800 subscribers, and that was so sweet and just fantastic. So thank you all for that. So here we'll do a little fun thing. Hold on, and then I'll stop the video so you don't have to hear their barking. Are you guys hungry? Leo, are you guys ready to eat? Undivided attention. Do you guys want dinner? Are you ready to eat dinner? They normally start barking. They're being really good. Okay, I'll stop playing with them. All right, and I have to get off here and apparently feed them because they're like food. Like, it's time, lady. Get off, stop talking, feed us. So that's what I'm going to do. Thanks, guys.